Hey guys, how's it going? Entropy here today. So I heard some of you are asking for more actual game advice, in-game advice, and I thought, you know, let's do some actual gameplay. But today we're going to be talking about the training fights, and this is going to be a quick guide, talking through the advanced section. The basic section should be pretty self-explanatory. You just learn about the basic terminology of the game and how the rules work for Zero. The advanced, actually, I saw a few negative feedback on like the App Store or Facebook pages saying like, oh, this is bugged or it's broken. You can't beat it. Calling out BS, but as most of the people who as they play through it, it should be also pretty straightforward. With that said, we all have to start somewhere, starting from zero. So let's just go through all of them, and hopefully it's not been too long since I've done these little puzzles, so I don't embarrass myself, but let's go. So the first one we're going to talk about is critical trigger. Let's see. Learn about trigger rules. Number 1, critical trigger. So let's see. Ooh, okay. Let's see. So your opponent's at 4 damage. You have one column that's 18, and your Vanguard's 10k. If your rearguard hits, then your Vanguard can't connect. So I guess what this training fight is trying to tell us is when all hope is lost, bank for a crit. Crit. And then you put it to your Vanguard, so then it's a 2 crit attack. Passes, and then cool. So in a real game, as you can see, the opponent hasn't shown a single PG. So I mean, when you're that desperate, I guess go for it. But PGs will activate when you are going to deal lethal damage. So that crit, in actual games, won't actually win you the game, but it could happen. It could happen. So, desperate times, desperate measures, I guess. The second one is stand triggers. So, stand trigger, the blue one, lets you stand arrested rearguard and attack again. So, here in this case, what it's trying to tell you is, well, you have to break through your opponent's intercepts in order to attack your opponent's Vanguard. So, even no matter if it's a stand or a crit, right? Like your Vanguard has to go for your opponent's Vanguard. So let's just, rearguard hits rearguard. Here, if you hit a crit, it's the same situation as last time. You win here. Or if you hit a stand, your rearguard stand, you get extra power to hit over your opponent's defensive. And then you can win the game. Of course, again, your opponent only showed 1 PG, hasn't shown their heals at all. In a real game, the chance of them hitting a heal is higher than I'd be comfortable with, and they might have a PG. But again, you have no other options. You have to go for the win, right? So that's number 2. Let's talk about draw triggers. So if you looked at my trigger theory video, out of the 3 options, I'd say, because you should be playing for heals downright, no question, in Zero at least. Draws is the most utility because the most basic mindset is draws is the only trigger that works both offensively and defensively, while the others don't. The opponent has received 4 damage, so inflict 2 more and win the game. The card on top is a draw trigger. Well, that's helpful. If you play OTT, that's something you can do. So if you're interested in stacking your deck, OTT might be the clan for you. Anyways, let's see how this goes. So by looking at the board without skills, you can't really connect. But luckily we have Covenant, Knight, Randolph, and Randolph's skills is if you have more cards than your opponent during your turn, it gets +3. So what happens is if I attack with this, I hit a draw trigger. Doesn't matter which one I give it to. Since I have 1 card and my opponent doesn't have a single card, my Randolphs both get +3. So now it's 11 and 16. And assuming my opponent doesn't hit a defensive trigger, you win. Alright. It's pretty good. So also, as you've seen from the second puzzle, the stand trigger one, you can see that the reason why most players prefer critical over stands is because, well, if your opponent doesn't have perfect guards anyways, you know, the crit wins you the game without having to hope your opponent doesn't hit a defensive trigger as well. So I mean, it's honestly dependent on the deck, but in general, I'd say criticals are more value than stand triggers in Zero as well as in the TCG. But anyways, the last one, heal trigger. So let's see. I attack. Let's see what I get. I get nothing. You know, sometimes you think you're gonna win. Opponent hits a heal. This is where the salt and the swearing starts coming in. Now I'm left defenseless. You know, good thing is I still have 4 heals. Let's see what happens. Damn. Oh, I get a heal trigger, so I get to keep going. All right. Let's see what I draw into. Moron. Okay. 18. All right. So I guess this puzzle is trying to tell you that, you know, you should set up your board to anticipate your opponent potentially getting a 6 damage heal. So set up your columns properly, as well as don't give up, because there's always a chance to hit a heal and turn the game around. All right, so let's not concede too early. Then the next one, the 5th one, Twin Drive. Twin Drive. Grade 3 units have the skill Twin Drive and can perform drive check twice. You know, hence twin drives, I guess. Anyways, let's see. All right, let's ride Star Drive Dragon. And then here we have 2 Wingles and a Meron. Let's see what. Okay, so here the right column doesn't matter because at most it's 15k, so it has to be attacking first. Heal trigger. I guess I have to hit a crit. Oh, crit. Pew. Yeah, Cool. Alright, 3 left. Use skill number 1. Skill activation in main phase. And you know, other than just learning about the game, these practice fights give you gems as well. 20 gems for each. So when you finish 5 of these, that's 1 pack. Especially if you're starting from 0, every single pack matters. So, you know, might as well just follow this video, win, get an extra pack, and then play with more cards, right? Alright, let's see what they want us to do. So we have Soul Saver here. Soul Saver here lets us, when it attacks, it gets +3, Soul Blast 4 to get 3 of your rewards +5. Okay, so we want to use the skill because my opponent's at 3 damage. Every single time I attack them, assuming they don't have a defensive trigger, it'll become 11, 16, and then 21, right? So that means I have to hit 21 on my 3rd attack to win the game. So let's ride it because I need 4 soul. So now I have 4 soul, and then I have to build columns that can help me hit those numbers, right? Let's see. Let's put Wingle here, and then let's put Marons here. So what I'm doing right now is the Wingle with the boost 5k, it's a 12k, so it hits the first stage. The Morons are 16k, so with the boost, they could be 21 or 26. And then even without the boost, Soul Saver is 10 plus 8. When it's boosted plus 3, 21k. Okay. So let's do this. Battle. So if I do this, it means that even if my opponent hits a defensive here, so now it's 22, right? My Vanguard column is 21, and my Moron column is 26. So assuming that I don't hit a trigger and my opponent doesn't hit a trigger, I will still win. Okay, good. Alright, that's another 20 gems. Pretty good. Alright. Second to last one. Use skill 2. Alright, let's see. Skill of Blaster Blade, Counter Blast. Okay. So here we have best card in the game, Star Drive Dragon, 10k vanilla. Not as good as Cray Elementals. Those are a tier ahead. It's just fluff. Anyways, the Blaster Blade, well, you have to deal 3 damage, so that means, especially when your opponent has an intercept, it means you either have to multi-attack or retire the intercept, get rid of it, right? So Blaster Blade lets you counterblast 2 and get rid of a grade 2 or above. So let's get rid of the intercept. This way you have 3 attacks to your opponent's Vanguard. Wingle lets you give it an extra 3000 when it boosts. So let's do that. And then Ganslot has to attack. Let's run around. And Starlight Unicorn, this is the key card for this puzzle. It gives a rearguard plus 2000, right? So Star Drive Dragon is going to hit 18 anyways, so it's going to hit your opponent. 20 isn't going to affect hitting the Overlord, so let's not do that. The Ganslot's going to hit anyways as a 10k with the 6k boost. The 18k doesn't really let it hit the next stage. But the Blaster Blade is right now 9k with a boost of 10k. So 19, the extra 2k lets it hit 21, which is what we're looking for to hit the third stage. So the first stage is going to put your opponent to 16. Then the second stage is going to put your opponent to 21. And then the third stage lets you hit 21. Exactly what you're looking for. Finish the game with style. All right. One more to go, and that's Sentinels. So the interesting thing is that actually there is a planned update to Sentinels, but we can talk about that in another video. If you're interested, you can comment down below. I'll share the resources. But anyways, let's finish this puzzle first. So it's the main phase. Seems like I have a chance to beat my opponent, assuming they don't have a Sentinel, or also known as a Perfect Guard. Let's use the Ganslot. 10k hits 10k, 8k hits 8k, and then my Star Drive Dragon can't hit the opponent's Vanguard, so let's give it a booster. So here, again, assuming my opponent doesn't have a PG or a Sentinel, and then assuming my opponent doesn't hit a heal, then I will win, right? But in this advanced training fight, the opponent is actually using Sentinels to block you. So what are we going to do? Damn, 10 hits 10, and then 11 hits 10. So our Sentinel has been invoked, and then our second Sentinel has been invoked. So I guess this fight teaches you that you should play around your opponent's Sentinels. This is why multi-attacking clans work well. And that taunts or intercepts in this game aren't the only defensive option available. So that's it. That's game. So I think honestly, Game Studio did a good job giving some little puzzles and pretty good rewards. Honestly, 20 gems for each of these little puzzles are really generous of them. Other than that, if you really want to go back to basics, you can work on the basics one. And then I would suggest you to check out the challenge fights. If you are completely new to the game, you can work on these challenge fights. Starting from the bottom, you will see different protagonist or antagonist decks. You can confirm deck. You can see what's inside the deck. Like for example, oh, I saw Ashura Kaiser, but I'm not sure what it does. Well, you can check it out here. If you want to look at more recent decks, like oh, I like Narukami, for example. You can confirm deck. You can see, oh, this is like a template for a completed Narukami deck right now. Vermilion is a really strong card. And then if you wanted to try it out, but you're not too sure, do the fight. It'll walk you through the plays. It'll like set it up for you. And then you get 20 gems again. It's really fun because like for me as an F2 free-to-play player, like I'm not going to be able to build everything, but at least I get to try it out, especially when I'm bored, like, oh, I'm bored, I want to play some, Great Nature, or get some experience with it at least. Then you can do that. But yeah, I mean, I hope you enjoyed. I hope, this guide was helpful for people that are starting out. I myself definitely found difficulty getting used to how the zero system works, and had to take 1 or 2 tries to get the advanced fights as well. So don't doubt yourself, but once you get it, it'll stick with you, and it'll definitely refine your plays. So I hope you enjoyed, and also, if you just did it, I hope you pull something good with gems. Anyways, so I'll see you guys next time. Bye.